Previously on History of Turrican!
We took a look at Turrican 3. Without Manfred Trenz, the series creator, the game was a wholly different animal. Before we continue, I should mention that Mega Turrican and Super Turrican are available to buy now for Nintendo Wii Virtual Console, so now you don't have to take my word for it. With that said, on with the show. Title. This episode, we'll be looking at 3 different games. Firstly, Super Turrican on the NES, and then the Super Turrican series on the SNES. Bearing in mind that we covered Game Boy Turrican in episode 2, I'll give you a second to click the link in the text box and catch up. In 1992, European Nintendo owners received a unique gaming experience. On home computers of the era, it was quite common to see one person designing an entire game, with graphics, music, sound effects, and game design. On the NES, however, this was less common.
Featured system, Nintendo NES.
Turrican comes to Nintendo. Manfred Trenz single-handedly made every bit of this game. Now, as a game designer and coder, Trenz is second to none. As a graphic designer, he's acquitted himself well here. As a musician, however, I'm less impressed. Nevertheless, the game has some genuinely difficult moments and brings the feel of the classic series to the Nintendo faithful. While Trenz was hard at work with the NES port, Factor 5, creators of the 16-bit incarnations of Turrican, set a few programmers aside to begin work on a Super Nintendo incarnation of Turrican. On the SNES version, the backstory is tweaked again, this time having no mention of Bren Maguire. Instead, you play a nameless member of the Freedom Forces, who comes to the planet Katakis to liberate it from the series antagonist, The Machine. In the NES version, there is no on-screen backstory at all, taking you straight onto the title screen.
Featured system, Nintendo SNES.
The team at Factor 5, most of whom worked with Trenz on the classic series, have captured the essence of Turrican with this version. The levels are large and varied, the graphics crisp, and the backgrounds colourful. Also, Hulsbeck's score from Turrican 3, alongside some newer compositions, really helps to give the game a real feel of Turrican. And while the button combinations take some getting used to for a one-button computer gamer like me, console diehards will take to it like a duck to water. This, then, is the real Turrican 3 in all but name. If you want to call yourself an old-school console gamer, you need this in your collection. Oh dear. And they were doing so well too. This is a disappointing sequel. Super Turrican 2 loses 90% of what made Super Turrican 1 so very special. The graphical style is radically different, the grappling hook makes another appearance, and the levels are smaller, more linear affairs. However, there are flashes of Hulsbeck's brilliance in the score, and the control system may be more forgiving to old-school console fans. Ultimately, this sequel is too far removed from the conventions of the classic series. However, as a game in itself, it's still quite enjoyable, and it's available now on Wii Virtual Console. Whatever I've said about these games, and their console ports, they're all better than Universal Soldier.
On the season finale of History of Turrican.
We've put it off long enough. Join me next episode as we dig into the sordid chapter of Turrican history that the Moneymen saw fit to name Universal Soldier. You cannot miss this one.